we have a special delivery from a couple of partners that have come on board for the V3 Wags. All right, let's check it out. Oh!
Yes, I'm in designer. If I see her, then I got her, bro. Yes, I am a dog with these diamonds on my collar, and that's why I got your girl head banging, so they calling me Nirvana.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another Keep Reet video. And yes, I am here working on the wagon. We're gonna keep going with this thing. My name's Jesse from JS Performance. Go follow me on Instagram.
No, I do not work at Keep Reet anymore, but I'm subbing out to them to build this absolute monster of a car when I get the chance. So, but if you want me to work on your car, hit me in the DMs, JS Performance on Instagram. Anyway.
So if you didn't know, we're building another pro competition R31 Skyline. It's got a 2J sequential, dry sump, 1,000 horsepower, quick change, live axle rear end, wise fab front, Shockworks coilovers, all the good stuff. So yeah, it's going to be a weapon. I'm going to move on to our fuel cell. So we have this beautiful small boy radium. This stuff is unbeatable. Yes, we've gone for the really small version because we can't put it in the rear end because the whole rear end of this car is going to be collapsible. This bad boy right here. So the regulations do allow you to modify the floor pan for a trans tunnel and a fuel cell, and that is it. And your fuel lines, not your coolant lines, which is kind of annoying, but yes, we're going to fit it here. So it's going to run from the inside of the chassis rail, which is about there, to about there. Fuel cell's got a built-in safety cage around it, which actually has to be welded to the chassis according to the regulations. So I'll probably make a box for this to sit in and then weld those bits there to the box. It should all sort of work, kind of. So yeah, let's get chopping, see if we can get this beautiful radium cell fitted up. Yeah, we're going to be doing a bunch of fabrication in this video. We have the Ross dry sump tank, which I'm probably going to put in the passenger footwell, make an enclosure to enclose that in. Front mount intercooler, which is going to be going here, and then we're going to have a massive Phoenix radiator, which is going to be going in the rear. We're going to rear mount rad with this thing. We're not going heaps lighter than the old wagon. The old wagon was 1340 kilos. So I think if we stick around the same weight, but more of a 50-50 split, that'll allow us to run a 285 tire, which any lighter, you got to run a smaller tire. There's no point going any lighter and running like a 265. So I think around the 1340 kilo mark with a nice even split front to rear will be the money spot.
One of two ways, really upset it, they show some respect. I can't even think about it. I've been up, so read about it.
So I am back. So I finished the panhard bar. I got a bush in there so it doesn't actually move back and forth now. And then I've gone ahead and tacked up and mounted the Ross Performance dry sump tank.
Oh wow, that looks good.
So yeah, it's going to be enclosed. So we'll just run bulkhead fittings straight through the firewall to our dry sump pump in the engine. It's a very common spot for people to put them, and yeah, I like it. The regs do say it has to be sealed off by 1mm steel alloy, but I see people that have clear, see-through covers so you can look in there, aka James Dean. So don't know how they're allowed to do that, but I want to do that. I've had a delivery again from the boys at Phoenix. This is the mother of all radiators, 6,000mm thick, 600 row. This thing is a serious bit of gear. It's very cool. So that's going to be going in the rear. Oof, that's fat.
True. Yeah, right. When are you going to cut the roof?
When are you going to cut the roof? That's what I thought.
I got the message.
No, don't film me.
Flexing on me, my attorney will call it collect.
Brokers. We have a special delivery, a special package from a couple of partners that have come on board for the V3 Wags. Golbies and Kelford Cams just sent this package out for the engine because Jassy is starting to pull down the 2JZ No She. So right here we have some gangster cams. I don't actually know. So Jassy actually put the specs in, and Golby suggested them as well, to be honest. And we've got the ARP head studs, rod bolts, don't know, flywheel bolts, we've got a Gates timing belt, we've got whatever these metal things are.
Billet main cap.
Yeah, that's the one, billet main caps. Totally forgot, mental blankets. We've got some fresh titanium exhaust studs, fresh Welsh plugs, valve stem seals. We've got it all, but you want to see the spicy stuff, so let's open up some spicy things. Doesn't say on there.
268, 272 VCT cams.
264, 272 maybe, don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I think I'm right, I know everything.
They're drop-in VVTi camshafts. Their code is a V202-C.
There you go.
That's the Calford
if you want to copy me. ACL bearings, can't forget. But let's try and open this because I don't know how to open things very good. I'm definitely going to drop it. Drop test.
Calford cams, adjustable cam gear. That's very nice.
Oof, there you go, there's their specs. Punches. Let's see if he was right. Yeah, he's 264, 272. I don't know what else, there's a lot of numbers there, but there you go. Little card that you get from Calford's telling you all your specs so you can tell the boys. There they are. Valve spraying the suit, the full package. And what else, Jancy?
Buckets.
Ooh.
Buckets, shimless buckets.
Ooh.
Beautiful. Got the full JZ refresh kit. Golby's are the JZ gurus.
All right, let's check it out. Oh! So there's the Calford cam. Nah, I'm just kidding. Proppers. All right, so here's our actual cam, and I'll try and not drop this one. Double wrap. Yeah, that's enough to see what we got going on. That's a nice cam. Oof. Ooh. Ooh. You can get all this stuff on Golby's website. So if you're gonna build a 2J, you know where to go. Calford cam, Golby's, get on it.
One eternity later.
Oh, this is a familiar plate. Where's the Can Gang sticker gone? Bullshit. Bullshit. What are you on? G'day, mate.
Things are looking up for me, that's what my tarot say. Been pumping out pheromones and wearing red. Young Jerry Lolliver King, but they're not aware of it.
Hey, this place is looking rougher than when I left it. We got an engine.
Got a block. I don't know if you probably would have included the footage of me tearing this down, I guess, in this video. That is on my phone.
No, I'm aware of it, sure.
Alright, we're down at my factory, JS Performance. This is going to be the motor we're going to build for the V3 Wagon. This is going to be a 1,000 horsepower monster. Right now I'm trying to get the balancer bolt off and I'm having an absolute prick of a time. Yeah, wish us luck. That didn't take 2 hours.
New cards, new deck, new life.
Alright, got the block and head and crank all loaded up. It's all in really good condition, which is nice. So let's go down to the Reet factory and gather together all our new parts and head to the machine shop. Yeah, we got the motor back from the machine shop and I am doing a bunch of measuring. So that's happening. 2JZ GE VVTi block and head.
So these blocks are the same as the G.
Identical, no oil squirters.
Yeah, you don't need.
So, pros and cons to oil squirters. You get less oil pressure with oil squirters, but we have a dry sump kit, so not that that really matters. But yeah, pros, they cool your piston skirting and bores down a little bit more. Don't need that where we're going. Barras don't have oil squirters from factories, so they don't need it. This doesn't need it. Apart from that, they're identical. Cranks are identical to the turbos. And then we've got the billet main caps from Golby's.
Nice, I think they're real street ones.
Yeah, real street ones.
Fancy.
So any super fanboys out there will know what real street is. They're billet steel instead of cast, so they don't stretch. And they've got the ARP main studs. The machine shop torques it all down, then they bore it out to the right size, then they hone it so it's nice and smooth. And I've actually finished measuring all of these and the accuracy is insane.
Yeah.
I'm blown away. Yeah.
Can't measure it on a ruler.
Nah, but like to get an aftermarket cap
Within a millimeter.
within 1/10,000th of an inch of each other is insane. So ideally, like the oil clearance that I like is about 2,000. These are around 1.9 to 2.1 thousandths of an inch, which is insane. They're really good. I was very impressed with that. Yeah, it's premium. Yes. What else did they do? They balanced the crank. They did already measure all the clearances, but I'm just going through and measuring them all because I don't trust no one. They did already gap the rings as well, but we'll be going through all them as well.
Premium Nitto, what V are they? What version? Don't know. I-beam, don't. Version
Yeah,
2.
couldn't tell you. Version 2, I think.
I'm pretty sure version 2.
The Nitto I-beams with the Nitto CP pistons. And then the head's just full of all the Calford gear, so it's got Calford cams, Calford valve springs, with Calford retainers, new seats cart,
Titanium.
and then
What are they? Oh, it's titanium?
Inconel valves and probably titanium retainers maybe.
Something's titanium.
And then the head's just been lightly ported. Light port, because we want to keep the small ports for response, but we also want them to flow air.
Definitely the most work I've put into any head. Normally I just use stock cams, stock everything.
Yeah.
Stock don't care, especially on the Barra. I loved it. Still loves it. Haven't done anything apart from cams now.
Yeah.
But yeah, most effort I put into a head from out the gate with the valves and everything else. So
Yeah, it's a pretty serious motor.
yeah, she should love life.
You can get away without the billet main caps up to about 900 horse. But future proofing.
Precious. Look at that.
Eesh.
So what power is she going to be capable of and how many RPMs, mate?
It'd probably do 1200 horse without a worry, I reckon.
Big ass turkey.
If you wanted to go that hard. Do 9 grand, I would have thought. Yeah.
So less than a Tesla.
If you can keep oil in it, which you got to dry something for, I don't know. 9 grand would be pretty doable. Also depends how efficient your turbo is though.
Yeah.
You might just start choking the motor at 8.5.
The turbo is the next on the list for things that we've got to source. I think we've got something coming up, so I won't say anything yet. But either way, the plan was to go something that's going to get us through this year's stuff and be nice and responsive, and not really push the power too insane because they don't really need it for what we're doing this year. But just more for testing to make sure it's minty, does the job, takes some abuse and all parts, and the car doesn't stink, and refine things like gearing and whatnot. And then once that's all kang, then we'll push like more power and NOS and that sort of stuff. Start playing with the stuff that we don't know about. So we've got to see how she responds.
NOS, baby!
Yeah.
We need NOS!
But she'll rev, she'll make the sounds.
Yeah, it sounds hectic.
I've heard that manifold before on a 2J and she sounds premium. The Jassie's got some work ahead of it.
10 weeks, you reckon?
Get it done, son. You gotta get her out of here. Next job in, mate. I'm paying you nothing.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, no. Yeah, got heaps of Ross stuff. The motor's going to be super pretty. Lots of billet Ross parts, lots of Rad Industry billet parts. So it's going to be pretty special, I reckon. Bolted up to that Quafe sequential. Got an MPC clutch now. Got a big boy Phoenix intercooler. Got all the Heltec.
There's a whole lot of stuff.
Just got to work out how far we go before we strip it down for paint. Time effective would be not to go too far before painting it, but aesthetically effective would be to get it running and then tear it down and paint it. I think I'll get the motor built and get the clutch on, gearbox, in-car, accessories, do some pipe work, intercooler. We can measure our tail shaft and get GJ drivelines to start making that. But you can do the wiring as well. And then you might as well just finish it before painting it. I don't know. It's hard.
We'll see what happens, but it's time to get cranking.
Yeah.
This new weapon underway and exciting time.
It's gonna be a full race car, mate. Full race car. Gonna have to sort out some windows.
Plan is to get a few people to help out with this thing while it's here. We'll try and keep the thing ticking along, and who knows. I'm about to end up down here spinning spanners.
That'll slow us down.
Not very likely, but we'll keep moving on.
And gotta sort out some ducting for that ride too.
Yeah, probably need that. Jason's
better
gonna close out. So thanks for watching and subscribe that ass, and we'll be back with more Wags updates hopefully soon.
Yep.
Fire up next video.
Yep.
I knew that was coming.